Hello everybody. Here is the very much requested and very often promised review on the MFT Die-namics. I've been getting a few of them here and there with some of my orders for a while now, and I wanted to try them out really good before I did a actual review on them. So yeah, they're all wafer thin die cutters. They're American made steel. I think it even says right there. Yeah, MFT Die-namics offers exclusive quality American steel dies. So yeah, they're just like this, wafer thin, pretty sturdy. Obviously you would still want to store them to make sure they're flat and they don't get bent, because otherwise they're not going to run through your machine very well. But yeah, they're really sturdy. My initial concern before I got into these was cutting things like this. Like there's no hole, or like as far as I knew there was no holes or anything. Like how would you, if the paper or cardstock or whatever got stuck in them, like what were you going to do? But any of the ones with more intricate shapes or just solid cutouts have little holes all throughout. So you can take your paper piercer or a pin if they do get stuck and just poke it through. But actually so far I have not had a problem at all using these. Like I used the snowflake one, which I keep showing, and cut like various snowflakes out of like cardstock or vellum, and yeah, they popped out no problem at all. And then there's even other shapes which are like this. This is the tree die, and it's got like image and whatnot etched into it, and just running it through the machine, the detail gets picked up no problem. I didn't have to use like a rubber pad or anything to press the detail in. I just ran it through like I did any of the other dies, and it came out perfectly. So that's very cool. And with this one, the leaf die is actually separate, so you can cut a whole bunch of little leaves. Yeah, I think they're great. They're, you know, not very expensive. They work fine. My only pet peeve with a few of them are with ones like this open scallop and then this regular scallop. The only thing that bothers me is the cutting edge goes all the way around. I was thinking that it would be open here. I was hoping they'd be open like this scalloped edge is. The possibilities are pretty much endless with one like this. You can use it on the end of a card or just anywhere you want, and it's just going to cut just this, not a whole separate piece. Whereas with these guys, because they have a cutting edge all the way around, it cuts out a separate piece. So you have to adhere it somehow to your card. Like I couldn't just cut an edge like this for the edge of a card or whatever. I hope that makes sense. So it's just a small pet peeve, but I just wish those had an open end to them like this one does. But yeah, other than that, oh, and just the fact that the packaging doesn't have the name of the die on it, but again, that's pretty whatever, because you can just look up and probably write it on here if you decide to store them in the bags. I haven't decided yet how I'm going to store them, but I love them because they're so tiny that obviously you can have lots of them and they take up no space at all. They work great. I was able to cut through cardstock. I've cut through felt with them. I haven't tried lightweight chipboard yet, although it says you can. So you're supposedly able to cut through a variety of thin materials, obviously, because the depth of the cutting is pretty much the same as the Spellbinders ones, from the feel of them. Obviously it's kind of hard to measure, but they cut about the same thickness. So obviously they're shallow dies. With them being solid, unlike the Spellbinders, which are obviously completely open, so you're able to cut through slightly thicker materials with Spellbinders just because they can push out the opening. So you're rather just a slight bit more limited with solid dies like this, but they're great, and they're also more finely detailed than some of the Spellbinders ones, in my opinion. Because I've got the snowflakes, I've got this star border, and things like that. So I think they're great. I'm totally happy I got them, and I plan on getting more as more are released, because they're great little dies. They've been a lot of fun. So I hope my little review helps you guys, and I will talk to y'all next time. Bye! I would also quickly mention that these are actually coated dies. With use, you might see some of the coating come off, like I just noticed it on this one here. it gets a little shiny, and it might happen like on the other side. This in no way affects the die cutting at all. Any other company that makes these all use the same manufacturer that makes these dies, you might notice that it doesn't affect them at all. They'll die cut just the same. It's happened, not on this one, but I've had it happen to my Spellbinders dies too. They're just a different color, but it's the same idea. Like, they're coated, like with whatever substance, I'm not exactly sure. But with a lot of use, the coating can flake off and whatnot, which it is. It's totally fine. It doesn't hurt them at all. As you use them, the more you use them and run them through the machine, the pressure is just going to make the coating flake off. But yeah, I just thought I'd mention that in case any of you that have it and have noticed that and were worried about it. Yeah, it's totally fine.